Hello and welcome to today's episode number 3 of Sarah's Story. Today's all about getting into gear when you feel like you've been, or when Sarah's been, totally out of gear and out of sync with her own magic. So Sarah just left the shop where the little old man accused her, or she thought he had accused her, and realized that she had just been misinterpreting that question. It was actually just a normal question. And as she was getting into her car, she was still thinking about and still pondering everything that she'd been pondering this whole morning of why were things stalled? Why was she not expanding the way that she really wanted to? What was really in the way of her just owning her expertise and owning her visibility and being fully seen out in the world for her business? She knew she did amazing work. Why were things not moving forward the way that she really wanted them to? And more than the results or the money or the accolades, it was the internal feeling that she had of just not being in sync, not being in gear, not being in flow in the way that she'd always been before. So Sarah put the car in gear, put it in drive to start moving forward. And as she was pondering, and of course, her mind was elsewhere. She wasn't really focused on driving it. She should have been. And she started to put the gas on. And as she put the gas on, the car didn't move. And she realized she was slowly slipping backwards. And that she hadn't actually put the car in drive. She'd, by accident, put it in neutral. And so that's why she was slowly, gently rolling backwards. So Sarah took a moment, put the brake on, and put it into drive, and thought, well, that's just perfect. What a great analogy for my life lately. I'm just not in the right gear. It's like I'm in neutral, so I'm putting on the gas, and I'm just not going. I'm just not moving. So she chuckled and laughed to herself as she now drove down the street, actually moving this time, and looked and saw the road ahead, and could actually see the road ahead because now that moment of realizing, no, I better pay attention to my driving, shook her out of her ponderings and her thinkings of why was she feeling so stuck lately. So she became more present to the road and the beautiful day ahead of her, and she saw the sun and the gorgeous day that was all around her that she hadn't really seen yet until that moment. She also noticed on her right side there was a street. And this street she must have passed a million times before. She'd been around this part of town many, many times. But it was as if she saw this street for the first time. It was as if the sun was shining on this particular street in a particular way that just made it seem inviting. And Sarah passed by. She had an impulse to pull in and to go down that street, even though she knew it was a detour. But she had an impulse to go down the street, and she ignored the impulse and kept driving. And after 1 or 2 more blocks, she realized, this is silly. I'm my own person. I can choose a little detour if I want it. And so she stopped the car, did a U-turn, and came back and went down this inviting street. And as she did, she felt more aligned. She felt more magical. She felt more herself, even though it was such a small, seemingly insignificant moment. But she realized as she turned down this inviting, beautiful, even magical feeling street. It was just a street in the city, but it felt so good. And she realized that she was beginning. This was the first small step to getting herself back in flow into who she really was and now is, and her owning her life and her business. So your magical question for today's episode is, where have you stepped out of your magic? And what is your personal magic? What makes you the most magical? And a clearing question around this is, where have you Whoa! Oh, geez. Okay. This is the energy from the whole story clip just culminating to this moment. Where have you sacrificed your magic, your flow for other people? And would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Wow. There's a lot of energy on that. Oh, another one. Where have you been in neutral, getting mad at yourself for not being in drive, because you should be, but it's just a really little mistake, and you could very easily correct it. But you've been beating yourself up for so long that you no longer see how easy it is to get in gear, to get in alignment. Whoa! Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Okay, so again, your magical question is, what is your personal magic? When and where are you the most magical? And I'd like you to comment below, write that down below. Own this for yourself, really. And as you comment, as you share it with me and with others, you're owning it. Where are you most magical? Is it on the phone with clients? Is it when you meet them in person? Is it when you hug someone? Is it when you're putting together a plan for your social media posting? Is it when you come up with an inspired idea? What is it? What are you doing, or who are you with, or when are you most magical? And comment below. Let me know below. Own this for yourself of where are you the most magical. And of course, please share this video and this story, Sarah's story, with anyone that you think would resonate. I would love to get this story and these magical questions out to more people who could benefit from them. And tune in next week for episode number 4, where we're going to talk about releasing the parking brake. Have an amazing day.